Okay, so here's my crappy looking solder job. It's really better than it looks, but I gotta redo that blue one. It's a little bit too long, basically. But as you can see, I actually bridged the either the gross fingernail. Got paint all over my hands. The center two. That's not very pointy. Just point with a soldering iron. Whoa. These center two, obviously, as I mentioned, are actually connected, so it doesn't matter if I connect them on the outside because they're already connected on the inside. And then obviously if you have any problems finding the room to solder on, let's say the actual, this is all +5 and this is all ground. If you have any trouble getting to one of these, like I'm soldering actually on 6 and 7, you can just use any of these edge ones for that particular point. But you obviously have to use the jumper 6 and 7 center point and the 10 and 11 center point for this. So I'm gonna do one more here. I'm gonna actually tin this. I think I've already tinned it, but like I said, that right there is too long. But it's sometimes easier to tin a long wire than it is to tin a short wire. So I tin a long one, and then I'll trim it afterwards. So that's a little bit better. Excuse me. And I don't really know how I'm going to be able to do this. Maybe if I do it vertically like that. Maybe. That might work. I get a screwdriver under there. And that's still going to be tough to show. That'll work. I'm going to try and just get a bunch of solder on these center points right here. I want these two to connect. I don't know if they're going to though. It doesn't look like they're going to. Maybe when I put the wire there they will. Okay, let's try this again. I ran out of memory card on that one. So, I can get this set up again. There, that'll work. Maybe. Doesn't look too good, but whatever. See if I can get this up to a little bit better. There we go. So we're going to be soldering this to right now, which is not a very good solder job, I'm sorry, but none of these are really. So we've got, you know, a lead coming off of 6 and 7 on the outside, which is basically just the +5 and the ground, and then we've got the neutral colored one coming off of the common, which is actually going to the chip, and then we've got yellow and red coming off of these. Actually, oops, sorry. I'm going to resolder this one in this direction. Try and make it a little easier in the long run. I'm actually going to trim it too, because that's way too long. What was I thinking? And with this, you don't really need a whole lot of solder. As long as you've got your wire tinned, that's basically enough to get it to stick on there. I think I've got a little bit on my pen. So there we go. So that is done for that. You don't have to worry about that anymore, which is a big relief. So now we're going to figure out what the hell to do with these wires. So, alright, so I got all this taped up nicely. They're not going to go anywhere. Nice and secure for, and well, not that secure, but you know, they're secure enough to work on this side without being scared. This one I'm going to have to get a little bit closer. So, stick this back over here. Front goes in first. And then we're going to try and line up back here. I'm sorry, this isn't very close. Where that little notch is, which you probably can't see. Maybe if I pick this up. Come on, come going to try and line these up with this little notch in the metal. Whatever, you can figure it out. So that they come out nice and easily, and that whole part of the board is not being pressed up, it's not getting pushed up from the kind of surrounds, it's just coming out a hole in that area, which is really convenient. So, basically we're done with that hard soldering, and we can put everything back on here now, which, you know, you can put everything that was on the inside back in there. And all we have to worry about, in my case, is cutting a hole in this, mounting the switch, and soldering the switch up. So I'm going to put all this stuff back together, and I can even work with it with the top on, because I can still work right there. So, let me do that really quick. One more quick thing, I've got this all back together, and I've even got my switch placed in there nicely. Decided to use screws this time, because whatever, don't care. looks pretty good actually, I don't know. But you're going to want to make sure that if you color your wires, you remember where they are and mark down, because I forgot to make note of which wires went where. So I had to go back and watch the video again and mark them all out. So, alright, and there you have it. Got all my wires soldered on nicely. I left a lot of extra just so I could solder a lot easier, and obviously these are insulated. I can always just stick it in there like that. No problem. Try and get these bent in nicely. Now I made one mistake here, and that is I put this way too low. It's actually basically touching some of these this battery here, and I'm a little afraid of that, so I am going to put some tape over that just to keep it from shorting out anything. Okay, I've got a minute left right now. I'm going to put in Shining Force 3. Right now it is on the US mode. Boot that up, listen to it. Goes to check the sector. Booting just fine over here. Bingo. Takes a little bit to load. So, US works as it should. Now, we will go to the back. Flip this over to Japanese. Open this up. Set this down. This is Darius 2. So we will put that in. This is a Japanese disc, obviously. Come on. Okay, we're checking that. That noise I'm listening for, there we go, is when it goes to the edge, the very edge of the disc, which is where the kind of copy protection is, and basically if it gets that far, it's going good. So here we are, booting a Japanese game. Pretty awesome, right? Well, anyway, that's about all I have to show you, and thanks for watching, and have a good one.